Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to try and take a different approach, maybe not so comical, a little more serious, talking about our marriage, or marriage in general, what do you do when things are not so easy.
Yeah.
But before, make sure you subscribe to our channel. You hit the bell at the bottom, write a comment.
It's going to be talking about marriage when it hurts and how to navigate difficult conversations with your spouse. We hope to be able to bring life to your relationships, whether you're married or not married, but friendships as well. Because I've found that, a lot of the way we deal with conflict resolution transcends not just marriage, but also our friendships, our workplace relationships. So we just wanted to talk a little bit about, being dedicated to your marriage and the way that you communicate with your spouse and the way you resolve conflict, even when it hurts. Because to those of you out there who are married, you know that it's not something that you can take lightly. Marriage is forever, and God intended it to be forever. So, but there are things that contribute to marriage not being long lasting. How would you say we generally handle conflict resolution?
I think it evolves over time. I think we were terrible at it in the beginning.
Yeah.
But I think that's important also. Good to have a baseline to know where you were at with each other.
That's good.
And that involves communication. And I think also you have to have that one-on-one with each other, but one-on-one with yourself. You have to learn from your partner. I've learned that if she's telling you you're doing it, chances are you are. Even if you don't want to accept it, and it may not be the way that you perceive it, but that's how she's perceiving it, so it definitely is worth looking into. So knowing where that baseline is for us, which was not the greatest place. I mean, I could just speak for myself. I wasn't a great communicator. I would end conversations before they even got anywhere. Just wasn't a great communicator. We'll leave it at that. So I think learning to communicate with you, kind of like a dance, I think.
Yeah,
with a partner, someone you don't know. Like you may have two left feet like me, and they might have a lot of finesse and grace in the way that they dance. But she helped me with communication.
He helped me too, though, you guys. I've heard my entire life that I can be not as like I'm good at speaking, but I'm also not very graceful in having difficult conversations. A lot of times I'm very abrasive and sharp and can be very disrespectful. So that is something that I have to be honest in saying. Like I've come a long way because of your influence. We both had work to do as far as communication was concerned, but I would say I agree. Like to his point, like our conflict resolution has evolved because we've chosen to evolve.
We've been lucky to have each other, because I don't know that chemistry or that works for everyone. That's why you have to really choose wisely.
You can have great ingredients for a recipe that you find, but if you don't have the specific ingredients, it's not going to work. You're not going to make the dish you're intending. And I think that's how it works in so many relationships. Like people are out there and they're meeting people and it's a good person, but just because they're a good person doesn't mean they're your person. So I'm just grateful. I've never met any good people, but I did meet my person. So for me, I think it's just so important to like think about the recipe that you're trying to create, whether it's a romantic relationship or friendship. Think about what the recipe is. Look at the ingredients and make sure the people that you're meeting have those ingredients for the type of spouse you might be wanting to, start a life with.
Obviously we have the baseline of knowing like, okay, this is where we're just not good in these areas. And when you're getting into a conflict with your spouses, you want to kind of know like, okay, what's the destination?
That's good.
Are we just going to fight? Because we can just fight and we can ruin our friendship, we can ruin our marriage one thread at a time, unravel this thing. Or, what's the like, this is my friend, this is someone I chose to be with. So typically all arguments or all conflicts should be resolution based.
That's good.
Okay. Go ahead.
Act with the resolution in mind.
Yeah.
Especially when you have kids, things are always going to come up. So you have to act with the outcome, the desired outcome in mind. Can you think of anything else?
Yeah, I think for me, I've learned lose so that your relationship can win.
Boy, that's good.
These are all things that we we didn't like.
That's good.
Okay, so
I'm learning a lot from what he's saying right now, just because, I mean, we don't talk about this all the time.
I fight her on her opinion or her perspective or how, whatever that was that we were talking about, how it affected me. Well, what about me? Well, what about me? Well, what about me? Well, then we're both losing. And I think this is an opportunity where you can have a lose-win, ultimately have a win-win. And I think it's important to do that sometimes because, if you've chosen your spouse the right way, I think they're going to want to know how you feel about it too.
Yeah.
But when they're ready to. So I think if you take a step back and realize that, let them process first. You can lose a little bit, but ultimately you win.
Gain so much more. Yeah, that's good. I am focused on sharing my feelings so that he understands where I'm coming from. And once I feel heard, which I'm sure many of you might be out there feeling the same way, like once you feel heard, then you're good and then you're willing to listen. And so I've had to work on it's not all about my feelings and being able to share my feelings first. I need to first check in with him and see, okay, you made a face. What's going on with you? How are you feeling? I had to really learn, okay, I might be irritated about something right now, but I need to still check in and see because he's feeling my energy. So something's probably going on with him now too. So how's he feeling? Okay, he can then share, okay, I felt like this because you kind of switched up on me, and then we can talk through how I'm feeling. So I don't know. I think it's just a matter of like you said, the best thing Jonathan said was it's a dance, right? You're either gonna you don't want to be off, you're over here dancing salsa while your spouse is, ballroom dancing. What else has worked for us is just taking space. We're gonna take a beat. I'm getting real hot, you're hot. Obviously you're hot. But I'm irritated, you're mad. Let's take a break. Let's take a beat and come back together when we feel calm. And I've always hated doing that because I've always believed in don't go to bed mad, but we won't have to go to bed mad if we take a beat for an hour and then come back together. But often when we continue to argue for things, it's all night and now we're going to bed upset because we didn't just take a much needed 10 to 15-minute break and then come back together.
I encourage people to consider their emotional intelligence, wherever that lies within themselves, only that person knows, and to be cognizant of yourself, of your nervous system. If you're feeling like you're starting to rev up a little bit, or there's nothing wrong with being the one who's in the wrong, especially if both of you are going to come out ahead and you're going to learn something. So that's the problem I think in the past is that I didn't learn anything from those experiences because I fought her. So we don't fight anymore. In the sense, I fought her with my words. I fought her with my perspective.
Same. I would shove my perspective down his throat to the point that he's just I've got too much to eat. I'm not even enjoying any of what you're telling me because I'm just being suffocated with your opinions and your perspectives.
Yeah, we weren't learning. So it takes time. It's gradual. I think it takes a long time to learn. I don't know if you ever really can, which was also a nice aspect of it because there's always something to learn. And just take it slow with them. If they're telling you something, listen. You learn something about them, and there's a lot to gain from putting your spouse first.
That's true. Thank you for tuning in. Our tips: number 1,
set a baseline.
Pick the right partner.
Pick the right partner.
Pick the right partner. Number 2,
establish your baseline.
Establish your baseline. Where are you doing a good job in your communication? Where can you do better? Number 3,
outcome focus.
Focus on the outcome. Where are we trying to go in this hard conversation? What is the ultimate destination? Number 4,
is that losing the win?
Yeah, choose. It's okay to lose sometimes, because guess what? You're not going to lose if you choose to listen to your partner and be there for them. Chances are you're going to win. And just remember, it's a dance. It's a dance. Communication, I love that. Communication is a dance, and you get to determine how you want to dance with your partner. That's one piece of advice that my mom shared with us when we first got married is like, sometimes Taylor, you're up here, you're gonna need to bring it down here. And sometimes John, you're down here, you're gonna need to bring it up here. Like, it's a dance. So if you notice that your partner's ballroom dancing, meet them where they're at and dance ballroom with them. We thank you guys for tuning in. See you next time.
Yeah.